Welcome back to What's Going On Seaville. We've got Eve Waters in the house. You just heard her playing her beautiful melodic harp. And to call her an award-winning harpist just doesn't do this lady justice because she does so many other things. Welcome to the show,
Thank
Eve.
you. Nice
Thanks
to
so
be
much,
here.
Eve. That was beautiful.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
So let's talk about harp, songs, and storytelling.
Well, you know, in days of old, they didn't have TV and they didn't have video games. And people they didn't have specialized jobs the way we have either. So people had to use their own imaginations instead of going out and making movies and TV and video games for other people. It happened live. And I'm just one of those people who still does that.
You started playing the harp quite late in life.
Well, I started when I was about 40. Not saying how long ago that
She's
was.
41,
of
folks.
course.
1 year.
1
1 year playing the harp.
All
Brilliant,
that.
brilliant.
But see, I struggled very much in school, and I just had a struggly kind of growing up. And so many years ago, teaching myself to play guitar when I was 13 was the first breakthrough I had. That was the first thing I found out that I could do something and I could learn. So I found out then that I could learn things if I taught them myself in my own way. So that's what I've been doing. I decided to become self-educated, and I left school early, and I've been learning instruments and storytelling and anthropology and all these other interesting things.
That's brilliant. So at 13, you picked up a guitar, taught yourself how to play it, and transformed your life from there.
Yes, you understand.
The power of music.
That's right.
So was it therapeutic for you?
Absolutely. I think the simple thing I just described, that sense of confidence, but I think it also balances whatever my weird learning style is. You know, that kind of concentration, learning to do things with my fingers and with a little bit of artistic flow, I think that's good for me. It keeps whatever's weird about my brain, it keeps it a little better.
You know, I don't think you're so weird because they're actually starting to have alternative schools to educate people like you, and it's about time. I wish that was around when I was a kid.
Well, I really think it's all of us.
Yeah.
And I think all the imbalances and the things we'd like to fix in the world some people are in control, holding the reins, but we've all got those, and I think we all need art and new learning.
I agree, 100%.
So the storytelling thing.
Yeah.
You call yourself a storyteller?
Well, yeah, when it's convenient.
Is it something separate from the harp, or are they one and the same?
No, they go together, and they always have traditionally. In African cultures, the harp players, they have different harps, but they're still harps. Those are the people that play, but they also inherit and are taught from childhood the family histories to recite and the traditional songs. And that's the same in where our ancestors are from, the Celtic countries or the Nordic countries. Same kind of tradition, and probably everywhere you go. It just goes together.
Wonderful.
So I didn't have a whole legacy to teach me. I had to kind of pull it out of the air, but
Well, it was there somewhere in
yeah,
you because
it's in everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's, you know, they make fun of it or they laugh, but if I had the chance to create that storytelling atmosphere, all kinds of people, they just fall in a minute or two. Everybody's hungry for that place where your imagination gets carried away and that relaxation happens, and a time when there is no time.
Something we lose in childhood, unfortunately, with the real life stuff beaten down on us.
And with a lot of junk food things going in our mind, I think.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So somebody's got to be a dinosaur. And still remember the old arts.
Love it. I know. That's very true.
Yeah.
So you spent some time living in Burma and in England. How did that affect your life?
Burma was just, my father took a position there. So I was a little girl, but it was life-changing. It was really amazing. And so we were only there about a year But
How was it life-changing for you? What can you remember specifically?
Well, for one thing, my parents relaxed a lot.
Oh, really?
Because they had a whole different life, and it was all exciting and interesting for them, and they had servants and stuff.
Wow.
And another thing, just practical, is that we went to the American school. There were 5 people in my class, and it was taught by this wonderful, crazy nurse from Iowa who'd married a Burmese, and everything was taught actually in a traditional way, conversation and discussion amongst the students. She read us stories from a storybook every day, and I learned so well in that atmosphere. And these other kids, a few as they were all diplomats' children. They lived all kinds of places. They knew all sorts of things, so it was great. But Burma itself was great. That was before the Vietnam era, before so much blew up in Southeast Asia. Burma was only 10 years old, and it was like it's such a pure-hearted place to be. And we so appreciated to mix with that culture. We learned Burmese dance.
What a gift.
It was, exactly.
What a gift. And then England, you were there for 11 years, I think?
Yeah, and young as I am, that's a major part of my life. And also because of my difficulties. I thought I was all grown up at 18, you know, I was not. Those were my formative years.
Don't I know it?
Yeah.
To me too.
But we didn't at the time, did we?
No, no one could tell us any different.
Exactly.
Well, I had to get out of where I was, but something was just calling me there, and that was really like home for me. My kids were born there.
Wow.
I never thought I would necessarily return to the States, so.
Now, are your parents British, or do you have some
No.
British? Were you able to go and just live there freely without worrying about passports or visas
Well,
or anything like
I
that?
got a work permit for a while, and then I got married.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So that changes everything.
Yeah.
Now you're, wow.
It's pretty incredible. Eve, you have to tell us about playing as people. I don't even know how you put it, so I'm going to let you put it.
Well, I am a certified music practitioner. That's the name of my newish profession that we're all trying to give credibility to. We're glad to talk about it. So I was trained by the Music for Healing and Transition program. Playing for the dying has gotten much more publicity, and it is a wonderful thing. I'm trained in that as well, but I'm also trained music as a therapeutic wellness practice, music for patients in any condition. I'm prepared to take them on. So I don't want people to miss out just because I think, oh, I'm not dying.
Right, don't wait till the end. You can actually hang out with Eve now.
That's right. And at the University of Virginia, I did my internship there, and a position was created, a stipended position for a musician in residence. And that has gone on to expand. There's been 5 people employed simultaneously.
Wow.
Now right now there's 4. But we play in all areas of the hospital, including the satellite. Well, we can't get to as many places as we'd like, but we play for all kinds of patients. And we know that we're thinking it's going to benefit the staff and visitors as well. What a deal.
What a great deal.
10 to 24 minutes of music is likely to be all it takes to start that relaxation effect that causes all the cascade of beneficial chemical responses within the listener.
It's truly an incredible discovery, because it does do that. And obviously, when someone is dying, they're going through the major change, but it's the people who are watching those loved ones die that really are benefiting from you as well, and it's just a beautiful thing to do.
Well, I played recently for a neighbor who was in his hours of passing, and I actually hadn't occurred to me, hadn't occurred before, that I was just as a friend and a citizen able to play for someone in their home. And I was reminded so clearly that we are all one, and at those moments we really are. And we don't know what happens to us when we die, or even while we're dying. But we know there's all kinds of emotions present, and music can be the thing that weaves them all together, gives people, whatever they're going through, a little platform to cradle them.
I'd certainly want to go that way.
I'm hoping that we can create that in the very next few years. With all the worries about budget, on first hand, people are apt to say, well, we have to cut out these frills. On the other hand, this is so much more economical. One musician
Yeah.
can touch hundreds of people with just a few hours of playing. Knowing that relaxation effect is taking hold, that everyone who hears just a few minutes of conscientious, well-aimed, therapeutic style music, their heart rate will slow, their blood pressure will drop, their endorphins will start flowing. What a deal. And it doesn't interfere with anything, any prescribed treatments or anything else, doesn't get in the way.
The doctors and nurses must really look forward to you coming round.
I've had 10 years. I've had nothing but welcoming and acceptance.
I bet they love you.
Is this the only instrument that you do that with?
No, I also sing and I also play Native American flute. I use a smaller harp. It's easier to navigate. Sometimes we're crowded into a room with all kinds of equipment and procedures going on, and I can just squinch into a corner. And I play the banjo too.
No way.
I have a special banjo that with a very soft sound. It was made especially to my
I can
specifications.
totally see you playing the banjo.
I love it.
Like, do family members determine what they want you to bring?
No, wish maybe someday when I have my own little cart and I can bring an assortment. But
Your instrument
we're not
cart.
quite. Yeah. Well, UVA receives seriously ill patients from hundreds of miles around. Many of them are from coal country, from the mountain regions, and the sight of a banjo can be magically
wow.
welcoming
Yeah.
to some folks,
Yeah.
And that's what we're trained for. We're trained to pull out just what's needed in the
An
moment.
instrument for all occasions.
Wow, you are so valuable.
Yeah, you really are.
We've all got that ability. That's the thing. It doesn't take a very advanced degree of musicianship to do this kind of work, therapeutic music kind of work. Just the willingness and an open heart, ability to learn, get your compassion mobilized.
Get it going.
Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time. We've probably run out of time, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about your nominations for the Governor's Award and your Fall Festival of Tales.
Oh, that was ancient history.
All the wonderful stuff you did. But you do have a CD.
Yeah.
And where could our viewers find your CD?
I got
or any
two.
information about you to hire you? Do you have a website?
Yes. Very primitive one.
That's
It's
fine.
Eve Waters, Waters with 2 T's. There's not many of us out there, so.
EveWaters.com.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we can make that magically appear right here.
Well, that would be lovely.
Well, it's been such a pleasure to have you, and thank you so much for sharing that with us.
My pleasure.
I feel so calm.
I do too, yes.
Maybe we'll
Then
have
my
you
work
back.
here is done.
My work is done and seen. Okay, we'll have you back with the banjo and the flute and everything. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
My
Stay
pleasure.
tuned for Christina Ball. We're going to learn some languages with the Speak Language Center director. Stay tuned.